tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Good morning, Swarm, and welcome to Tinfoil Hat. You know I am. You know what I'm here to do. I'm here to join me as always, Xavier Guerrero, and on the ones and twos, Jay Nice, Juicy Johnny, Johnny Woodard. Yeah, guys. Hey, real quick, we got an action-packed show for you. We're very excited, but real quick, if you want to see me, Sweet Sammy T, live, go to SamTripoli.com and grab tickets. We're going to be in Broadbrook, Connecticut, then New York City. Then I'm proud to announce Buffalo, New York. I'm at Helium's August 25th. 2 shows, 7:30, 10:30, 10 o'clock. That is a Friday show. And then we just added in September, I'll be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania at Soul Joel's. And if everything goes according to plan, I hopefully will be in Boston at Boston Laughs Boston, on the 30th. And that's it. Go to SamTripoli.com for all Sam Tripoli stuff. So let's get into it. Very excited. He's in studio. He's one of my favorite people on planet Earth. We got some big shows coming up. Connecticut this Friday, and then, Saturday, and then this Cutting Room in New York City on Sunday night. Xavier's going to be there, and my man, Eddie Bravo. Eddie, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
And join us via the power of Zoom. I'm so excited to have him here. He is the producer, the director. He's the man behind the amazing movie Plandemic and all the versions of Plandemic. Please welcome Mikki Willis. How are you, Mikki?
Fantastic, Sam. Great to be here.
Stunningly good looking. I'm still in shock.
It's the lighting, man.
Oh
it's the
my
lighting.
God, bro. You must be the guy that takes all the pictures of like Denny's food and put it on the menu because it's way better looking than when you actually get the food. That's how stunningly good looking you are right now. You're Denny's food good
That's
looking.
why I never make live appearances.
Mikki, thanks for joining us, man. Your movie is Plandemic. You got Plandemic 3's out, and I just watched it, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so excited to have you on. For those who may not be familiar with you and your project, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where they can find the movie?
Well, the movie can be found at plandemicseries.com. All of my Plandemic-related movies are free. My book is even free on there. I'm all at plandemicseries.com. My short story is I was a fierce member of the far left, full-on socialist Bernie bro, went on the road to document Bernie's 2016 grassroots campaign and saw behind the curtain of politics, particularly Democratic politics, and woke me up really quick. And then I went off to do what I should have done before I went on the road, which is my deep research to figure out what the heck democratic socialism was and where it leads. And there's also a long history of understanding who people like Anthony Fauci is. My brother was killed by a medicine called AZT that Anthony Fauci pushed in the 80s and 90s. My mom died a month later of bad cancer treatments. And so it's kind of one of those wake-up moments for me as a man in my early 20s. And then when I saw him resurface in 2020, I knew that bad things were about to happen. And so I did my best to throw a movie together as quick as possible. And May 4th, 2020, we released Plandemic 1. And we had, thanks to the captive audience, literally people locked down in their homes, became the most seen independent movie in history.
I am right now, when I look back at all the clips of what we went through with it's almost like when you look at like videos of Nazi Germany and you're like, there's no way I would go through that. There's no way that anyone I know would do that. And then you realize that was only 3 years ago and so many people did it and so many people bent over backwards for authority and fascism. And it's kind of freaking crazy.
Well, one of the most dangerous things that we continue to utter is this will never happen here, when indeed it has been happening here for decades, if not over 100 years. And that's what we did our best to convey in Plandemic 3, The Great Awakening, is really the long history of having people understand that America is literally undergoing a cultural revolution right now, very similar to what Mao Zedong did in the 60s that converted China into the communist nation that it continues being today.
And it's step for step. It's like unbelievable when you watch what happened. There's a combination of like China's young army or colored army, whatever it was called,
Red Army,
the Red
Guards.
Army, and the Bolshevik War. It's kind of a combination of what they're doing here, because you couldn't march into Russia and invade Russia. You had to do it from the inside.
Yeah.
Go on.
And it with all the crazy shit that's going on, like the clown world shit that's going on that doesn't make any fucking sense. The Biden administration, which we know Biden ain't running shit. The guy can bear, I think he's faking that dementia, to tell you the truth, but he ain't running shit. He's just completely compromised. And, with all the shit that's going on, they're fucking going after guns, and they're trying to make it legal to chop off kids' dicks. And, in the middle of all this shit, that's their priority. Fucking scary.
It is scary.
Well, that's one of the reasons we wanted to bring all that to light in Plandemic 3, because what I was witnessing was, one of the unintended consequences of COVID, which is actually a good thing, is a lot of people are waking up and starting to do their own research right now. So it's really birthed a generation of citizen journalists. But the problem that I was noticing is that people were sharing the metaphor is like one piece of the puzzle. If you've ever imagine a 3,000 piece puzzle and looking at one little piece and going, I think I know what that is. That looks suspect. And you put it aside. Next day you get another one. You don't really get the big picture. And so my goal with number 3, The Great Awakening, was to put it all together so you could actually see that this insanity that Eddie just spoke of, there's actually a real calculated, strategic reason that it's all happening, down to the transgender movement and all of it. It's, Mao Zedong created a genderless society where all the young women had to shave their heads and they wanted to kill all attraction. And ultimately what it comes down to, and people often ask me why, what is the sense of that? The shortest answer is to eliminate everything worth living and dying for. Because when you hate your nation, when you don't have family, when you don't have love and connectedness or that primal desire to be attracted to the opposite sex, when all of that's gone and out the window, what does a man have to fight for? And it's men who've always protected our nations, and that's why they're being feminized and shamed for being toxic, which is just ultimately strength. All of that is to really execute the art of war. Sun Tzu, art of war. People need to understand what that's a military doctrine that the Chinese Communist Party uses today. And it's all about defeating an enemy from within, defeating an enemy without even fighting, turning the enemy against itself so that it defeats itself.
What do you think of Trump? You think he's part of that, or is he is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He's mostly good. I've met with him recently, and his former wife, Marla Maples, has been a friend of mine for over 15 years now. And she's told me inside information of how much he loves this country and what he always told her that he'd have to do one day if this country continued to go in a downward spiral. So I believe that he has good intentions. Now, does that make him does that we can't look over the fact that he's got a massive ego. He's not the best communicator. He has a tendency to polarize things instead of bring people together. There's a lot of things that he lacks, but that's why I am a firm believer that if he were to align with, it seems like it's possible now at this point, but align with someone incredible like Vivek Ramaswamy, who is just I don't know if you guys are tracking this guy, but I've never seen.
Yeah, I love it.
I've never seen anyone articulate everything from geopolitics to the woke problem to everything this man has an answer for. He's thought about it. He's 37 years old. And he just slays everyone who tries to rope him into the typical political rhetoric.
Where does he come from? Like, what's his background? Never heard of him before.
He's from India, and
no, but like politically, has he held office or anything, or what does he do?
He's not held office, but here's where it gets.
Because remember, Obama came out and said all the good shit. Obama came out and everyone thought so. Like so. I mean, and then DeSantis came out and said all the good shit. Now look at DeSantis, you know. So
this one is different. I will bet on this one being different because he's an entrepreneur. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He has he created a asset management firm to compete with BlackRock to do it in a way that wasn't destroying our planet. He has a biotech firm. He's created 5 medicines that save lives. He's a genius. He's an absolute genius. He's a father of two small babies. His wife's incredible. The only thing negative that I came out for a moment that freaked us all out was, you know, the rumor spread that he was part of the World Economic Young Global Leaders. He came out really quick. And I know because I was on the road with Tulsi Gabbard when that came out about her. And she ended up saying, no, they just threw me on the damn website. Like I told them to take me off. I'm not part of that. They do. And they did that to Vivek, and he's suing them now. He's suing them very publicly. For doing that. They're trying to smear his name because just Eddie, go down the rabbit hole on this guy, man, and look at his interview with Jordan Peterson. I've never seen anyone go toe to toe and perhaps outmatch anyone verbally like he did with Jordan Peterson.
Did they disagree on stuff, or were they generally on the same page?
No, generally on the same page. And when he disagrees with every newscaster who's trying to rope him into saying something stupid, he stands his ground. He will not back down on hot button subjects. He'll say straight out, like the transgender thing has got to stop. He just made a comment the other day about something that people are now giving him a lot of shit about because he's very honest about it. And he's just listen to him and you'll see. It's quite a breath of fresh air. And Trump has just recently, they asked him when Tucker did a little town hall, they said, did you see anyone up there that might be an interesting prospect for VP? And he said, a lot of interesting people up there. And he only mentioned one name. He said, this Vivek guy. He said, wow. And anyone who listens to him too, look at the comment threads. I think he just surpassed, or he's about to surpass DeSantis.
No,
this is a no-name guy. He has passed him.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Now, people are talking about RFK Jr. and for sure the DNC ain't gonna push him through. That's 1,000,000%. So the idea is, what if he gets pushed out of the DNC and then runs as Trump's VP? Because so far they haven't talked shit on each other. So that's kind of, Trump's not talking shit on RFK and he's not talking shit on Trump. What would you rather have? Do you believe in RFK Jr.? You believe he's
RFK
legit?
Jr. is a very dear friend of mine. Has been for a number of years, and this is very public because I had a roundtable with him about 3 weeks ago, and they chose me to ask questions last. It was a live roundtable, and I hit him with the hard questions. I met him years ago when I was on the far left, and I was directing a series around climate change. So I know where he stands with climate change. And so I asked him, I said, what I need to know, I know we have different opinions because, quite frankly, I'm fully aware of the way the climate narrative has been exaggerated to become the final nail in the coffin of our liberties. COVID was a dress rehearsal for climate lockdowns. Watch. And so I asked him, I said, what I need to know is this. We differ on opinion when it comes to climate. I believe the climate is changing. I believe that all living things contribute in some way to warming the planet. I don't believe it's an existential threat whatsoever. As a matter of fact, 4.5 million people die from extreme cold every year. 400,000 people die from extreme heat. If the planet does warm up, it saves lives. And nobody wants to talk about that.
100%.
Yeah. So I asked him during this roundtable, I said, are you going to forward the narrative that is terrorizing our children? As a father of 2 young boys, I need to know that you're not going to forward this narrative that's scaring our next generations so much that they're vowing to not have families now. And his answer wasn't sufficient, and it brought up a lot of controversy, and people started to come after him about the climate change thing. And then he came out and he made a comment saying that he does agree that they've hijacked the narrative. And it was a really promising comment. And I will say this too, he does have some videos online after he announced that he's running that were negative about Trump. I went to a dinner with him here in Texas, and he started speaking negatively about Trump. And I said, you got to stop. I sent a letter to his whole campaign staff. I said, if you're going to run against Trump, that's a losing proposition. Run. What are you running for? We're so sick of hearing that everyone's running to stop Trump, and that you've really got to. And he did. Then he came out. Well, Trump said something positive about him first, and then he came out and said he's really proud that Trump appreciates him, and maybe they can work together. And that's what I would love to see. In some way.
What did he say? What did he say about Trump? Can you say?
He just passed on some rhetoric about him being so dangerous, that anything's better than what we just had, kind of what we had before Biden, kind of a thing.
Yeah, he's dangerous if you believe the propaganda. I mean, because basically,
exactly.
We got all these people waking up. They're waking up to this and they're waking up to that.
Yeah.
When are you going to figure out that all the negativity or most of the negativity about Trump was all propaganda? When you hear people that are close to Trump, Dana White, Herschel Walker, Mike Tyson, they think they're close. They think he's a great person. You know what I mean? And yes, he's arrogant, but if he's legitimately draining the swamp, if he's legitimately going head on with the deep state, I want an arrogant motherfucker. I want a guy who his strength grows when arrows get slung at him. We need that. The greatest politician probably ever, the most honest, is Ron Paul. He seems to me most honest politician ever. But he would get squashed by the pressure. We need somebody like that. We don't need like a guy that we would go on a road trip across the country with to be the president. You know what I mean? If someone, we need someone with fucking big balls who has vengeance, who is overconfident, like cocky and arrogant. You know what I mean? If you had a corporation or a company and you had a board of directors and all that shit and CEO, but you were the owner and you found out there was some people in your company stealing a lot of money and they were, embezzling money, and you're like, it's a no-brainer. You have to get to the bottom of it. And then you found out there's this guy who they come in, you knew there was a guy. Some guy said, I know this guy. He comes in, he finds out, who the thieves are. He finds out who the rats are. He's super cocky, super arrogant. Would you want him to come in? Even though he's cocky and arrogant? Like, you'd want that. I want the guy to come in and go, I'm the best. Not only am I going to find the rats, dog, but I'm going to fuck you. Your profits are going to increase, tenfold. Yeah. I guarantee you, because I'm the best. This to someone, I'm like, let's do that.
I said this to someone the other day. I said, your house is on fire, your child is stuck on the second story floor, and you have a firefighter runs in, he's the belching, sickest, perverted, misogynistic, clearly just a scumbag, but he's the one that's shown up that will run into that burning house. Are you going to turn him away? Yeah. And so we're kind of in that situation right now.
No, I'm with you, man.
I was on the fence. I was on the fence a few months ago with Trump. And not really because of him, because I'm clear. I know family members, and I met with him late last year, and I understand why so many people that know him speak highly of him. He was very cordial and very cool. But I was still on the fence, and the only reason I was on the fence is because I said it's the reaction to Trump. I don't know that we can survive for another 4 years. It's what everyone does. They turn entire news cycles are just about the size of his hands and everything that he said, and it could become so petty. And then of the past few months, as I watch this man, he's inspired me, because I went through a little situation where I was being investigated for being a journalist at January 6th at the Capitol with the FBI. And it's relentless, and it's scary. And I can't imagine what this man's going through. He could cash it out and just live the rest of his life and enjoy and golf and do everything he wants to do. He knows that the next move is to take him out. The man knows that. The next move after everything has failed is to take him out. And he's still pushing on. He's losing money with his companies, and he's pushing on, partly because of ego, because he doesn't like to lose, and he knows that there are a lot of shenanigans happen in 2020. He knows that. Which they happen every election cycle. The fact they're trying to deny that at all and saying it was the most secure is like 2016. All the Democrats were saying it was hackable. They brought in hackers and showed how the machines were hacked right on the floor of the Senate. But suddenly it's the most secure system. It's not, and it's never been, and it probably never will be until we change the system. But all that said, I have to say, I am quite inspired and impressed that a man would have the courage that he has to stand up against every corrupt, the CIA, the FBI, everybody who wants him eliminated, and to come out in public and to still step out of that, SUV in broad range of the people, knowing that any moment there could be a sniper to take him out, and he's still fighting for the country. I've crossed the line now to where I actually think that he deserves another 4 years to do what he planned on doing in 8, and he didn't get a chance to do it.
We need a guy with big balls, that's for sure. You gotta.
Yeah.
You like if you were a manager of a fighter, you would want him to be fucking confident. You know what I mean? You'd want him to think he was the best. You wouldn't like, oh, I would manage him or I would coach him, but he thinks he's the best.
Yeah,
He thinks he's the best.
Right.
I want a motherfucker to think he's the best.
You know what else though?
You know what I mean? Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? People are like, oh,
Muhammad Ali. Look at Muhammad Ali.
exactly.
That's what
He
we
thought he
loved
was the
about
best.
him, man.
Who was
Yeah.
more confident than Muhammad Ali?
Nobody.
Nobody. Who was more
Nobody.
confident than Mike Tyson?
All right, real quick, I want to tell you about our boy James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Listen, everybody, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money in crypto, but did you know it's easy for you to do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy him, okay? It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know anything about crypto or how to invest. You simply do what he does. So let me tell you about James. He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 26,000 subscribers. Since 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put in $100 into each one, it went on to be worth $120,000. Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said. That one call retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is all public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing right now and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but my listeners gain full access for just $1. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. The recession is here, guys. You can suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is a real deal. Go visit his site now. A big reason why a lot of people I heard going into 2020 was the reason they wanted to vote for Biden because they wanted the negative news cycle to stop. But guess what? It never stopped. It actually got ramped up more with the craziness of Biden and the craziness of Trump. So you didn't even get that. Because we're in a demoralization campaign right now. Like they're trying to break our souls, break our spirits, so we give up and we don't want to fight back. And this is what they're doing. So even you try to play nice with them to get their guy in, they still are trying to come after you because this is not about money and this is not about power. This is a spiritual war, and they want your anxiety high, your depression high, so you're sick and you're easily manipulated all the time. So they didn't even give you that. They gave you no peace, man. So let's go back to I'd rather be in the trenches because I'm always going to be in the trenches with a guy who's fighting for me. And, I on the show have listed all the stuff that Trump has done. And I think there are always going to be these things that we got to keep an eye on him about, because you always have to, whether you love the president or not, you should always be doing checks on them and checks and balance of what they're doing, because they're supposed to be representing us and what we want. But I would take Trump over almost every single president up to maybe JFK. And I probably, if you did a deep dive on JFK, I'd probably take it over Trump over JFK because I've learned stuff about JFK.
And all what you said earlier about you're worried, the one thing you're worried about is all like basically the negativity and baggage that comes with Trump. But it seems like he's using that against the deep state. Because if all the attention is going to him, he's like, okay, let me get arrested, let me get indicted, so we can arrest and indict the real criminals, right? That's what's happening. Look at everybody that's being exposed because of, like, why didn't you fire Fauci? Fauci's exposed now. Why didn't you fire or get rid of, like, Mitch McConnell or whatever? Everybody's getting exposed. It seemed like wherever he's at, they're coming after him. So he's putting the people that need to be exposed next to him. 4 years ago, everyone thought Bill Gates was just a philanthropist. Everybody thought Fauci. Everybody thought Fauci. It's just the head of fucking whatever, the NIH, whatever the fuck that is. But now, as every day goes by, it's going to be harder and harder for them to walk the streets. You know what I mean? He's exposing. So the more they go after him, the more he brings people. Like, he put Fauci up. He goes, boom, listen to this dude. Boom. It seems like he's exposing everything. That's what it seems like. It seems like.
Doesn't. Now there's two things that I really hope Trump does, and I know that you'll agree with me on this. He's got to swallow his pride and come out and admit that he had a bunch of snakes around him and he was wrong about the vaccines and Operation Warp Speed. He's got to do that.
Dude.
I think the other thing is I think that was done on purpose. I think he could have went, because people knew, and he made anti-vax tweets for years. So for him to all of a sudden be super pro-vax. And then Donald Trump Jr. is anti-vax.
Yeah, but he has to admit that he was wrong. Like they said, he has to admit that he was wrong about that.
I think if we're, do you believe, do you know what devolution is? Do you believe in continuity of government? Mm-hmm. There's people that believe that that's what's going on right now. And if that's what's going on right now, it's a sting operation.
What is that?
So when there's a sting operation, you gotta, like, if you're like an undercover FBI agent or DEA, you have to pretend you're a drug addict. You might have to do drugs, and then for people to go, look, that guy, he's not a true FBI agent. He's doing drugs. So I think if we're in the middle of devolution, if we're in the middle of continuity of government, which means that Biden really doesn't have any power. And if you believe in that, you could look up Derek Johnson, go to X22 Report and listen to the interview with Derek Johnson. He breaks it all down with the executive orders. Like, I don't know what's real. I don't know what Trump could be a fucking show. I don't know. But man, none of this shit makes sense. And then when you look into continuity of government, whoa. The executive, man, you got to look into it. I can't even explain that. I keep listening to it over and over again. We might be in the middle of a fucking sting operation to take down the deep state. We might be.
Please.
We might be.
Mickey, you want to say something?
Yes. I was just going to say the other thing is Julian Assange. He's got to come out and reverse his opinion on Julian Assange. As a journalist, it's pretty disgusting that he would allow that man to rot, and I think he even made things tougher on him. And so those are the two things, the marks on his time in the office that I think he's got to. I'll say this, that I have some inside information, and it did come from Don Jr. That somebody reached out to me and said, Don Jr. may want to meet with you because he really wants to get his dad past this Operation Warp Speed thing, that he actually really does believe that it was a good thing, and he needs to be educated. Somebody reached out to me about that, and that it was a direct request from Don Jr. to another dear friend of mine. And so up until that point, I was thinking maybe this is the 4D chess thing that people are talking about. Maybe that's what's going on. But when his son is actually troubled by his dad's position, it led me to think that he really does believe what he's saying about it out there. And, and I just hope by now that he's waking up to understand, with all of the different damages that are being reported and the fact that we have outliers. We can look at Africa that's 4% vaccinated and no problems. We can look at the different states within our own nation that didn't play the game. And there's enough proof and analytics now for anyone to look at it and understand with the most basic knowledge of science and common sense that there was nothing good about it. There's still some people that say about it might have been good for the elderly. No, there's nothing good about it.
The one thing that was good about Operation Warp Speed, if you believe in the 5D chess, if you believe in continuity of government, devolution, if you believe all that, their plan was to, and Fauci he's on video saying this, and everybody knows this. It takes about 10 years to approve of and 10 years for a vaccine to go through all the safety studies. They all knew that. And when Trump was saying, yo, I'm going to get this done in 8 months, everybody, Kamala, Biden, everyone's saying, who's going to take that? 8 months? Like, no one's going to take that. They were talking so much shit on the that Trump was going to have it out quick. They go, no, this takes 10 years. This takes 10 years. I think they wanted to drag the lockdown on 10 years, release the in 2033 or whatever. And then by that time, the infrastructure's in for the passports, because we know, anybody that's been paying attention, we know that passport was the goal, to get everybody on a passport with a global database and all that. And whether Trump is playing 5D chess or he actually does believe he did a good thing by getting the vaccine out in like 8-9 months, whatever you believe, the one thing it did do is it killed the passport. They weren't ready for it. There was never any database. There was no global database. Everybody had fake cards. It was all bullshit. So, and then they put it in. They put it in LA. You couldn't go to most restaurants without proof of vaccination. You couldn't go to fucking the mall.
Crazy.
You couldn't go to the mall. So they got it in. But you know what? They didn't have the infrastructure. So where is it now? It fell apart. So whether Trump is playing 5D chess or not, that passport is dead as fuck. There's nothing. It obliterated. There's nothing left of it. There's no records of anything.
Well, here's one thing that I'll share, and this is merging a little bit into theory at this point. But through all the research that we've done and an incredible research team that I work with, I think that we'll owe Trump a great debt of gratitude as we understand in this story of the COVID situation continues to unfold, because here's what the conclusion that we've come to at this point was that this pandemic wasn't meant to happen in 2020. It was meant to happen a few years later. And after every investigation failed, after Russiagate, after all the impeachment, after all of these things didn't stop him, it appears that it was pushed forward. It was kind of like, let's just go ahead and do that. Now we need a massive international false flag. And because of that, the globalists had yet to capture certain territories that matter. So we have Sweden, we have territories of Africa and other ones that weren't captured. They hadn't performed a regime change. They didn't have their globalist selected leadership in place, so that we had some rebels saying, we're not going to play that game. We had, nations or states within our own nation that weren't captured yet either, that didn't play the game, that said to their citizens, if you want to wear a mask, go for it. If you want to shut down your business, go for it. But we're going to leave that up to you. We're going to respect your ability to choose. And now what we have is the greatest trial test you can imagine, because when you have an outlier, when you're able, and now had the whole world been forced by a centralized command to go along with it, there would be no way for us to tell what worked and what didn't work, or how much worse this thing could have been had we not locked down. But now we're able to look at all the nations and all the other states and territories and counties and see the variation of responses and recognize that those who didn't play the game, they're not sick. Their economy's still good. Everything is in better shape than those who went extreme. And that will be the saving grace moving forward for us to look back and to say, it was actually Donald Trump who infiltrated the system and got in there and forced them to push up this plan that may have been literally the thing that did what you were just talking about, Eddie, that completed all of the passports, and we would be communist China right now had it not been for that man disrupting a system that was supposed to be impenetrable.
I think when he's bragging about, because he brags about it all the time, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make. He's like, I remember I was the one that got the thing done. I was the one. So he brags about it. To me, I think he's bragging about fucking up the passports. That's what I think he's bragging about. Like, I'm the one who did that shit. Where's the vaccine passports now? You know what I mean? That's what I think. That's what I hope. I could be wrong. I just have hope. I just have hope. I believe the Great Awakening is beating the Great Reset. It was like over the last couple of years. So. Over the last couple of years, I wasn't sure, but now it really seems like when you have like Joe Rogan waking up in his podcast. You know what I mean? And crushing Sunya Gupta.
Has he seen The Great Awakening yet? Has Joe seen it?
I sent him a
link.
link. I don't know if he actually
great.
watched it, but I did send him a link of it.
Okay.
As soon as I
Cool.
saw it,
Thank
I
you
was
for
like
that.
completely blown away. That's the greatest documentary probably of all time. That's
thank
like,
you, brother.
and then you have like Russell Brand, even like Bill Maher, even though like Bill Maher got one eye still closed, but those guys are more powerful than like the guys that are already stigmatized. Like if the goal is to wake up as many people as possible, and there's a lot of people that are zombies way left, right? No way is something coming from an InfoWars link gonna have anything to do.
You're right.
They're like, they just go, oh, who told you that? Alex Jones? Like, fuck that. But if Jimmy Dore tells you, or if Russell Brand says it, all of a sudden they listen. So a lot of the super red pill people talk shit on the people that are half awake. I'm like, no, the half awake people are the most powerful. Are you kidding? The guys that are fully awake, fully red pilled, all about MAGA, no one's going to listen to them. As soon as, that's why it's powerful that Joe isn't like a full-blown Trump fan. A lot of people are like, why can he see that all that hate and all that negativity from Trump? Can't you see that it all came from CNN and MSNBC and fucking big tech? They went after, they smeared the shit out of that guy. That guy's taking everything. They got him on everything. Rape charges, he's a racist. He's everything. He's a Russian agent. He got the 3 R's, dog.
Yeah, he got the 3
R's. Russia, rape, and racist. I mean, and they threw everything at that dude. And you know what? Like you said, he's fucking inspiring, dog. They gave him all that shit, and he's still like, fuck you. I'm going to save the world. Fuck you.
True
That's
fighter.
the kind of
True
quarterback we
fighter.
need.
I know
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know Randy Moss? Wasn't he one of the greatest wide receivers ever? Super arrogant, super cocky. I want a guy like that on my team.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to.
Mickey.
I'm not trying to hang out with the
No,
guys.
I'm with you, dude. I totally agree. I know we don't have you much longer, but I want to ask you. So some huge things have been happening in other parts of the world, which makes me sad. We've been seeing some real like putting foot to the fire. The UK Pfizer just lost a court case, and Australia, bro. They have been like, dude, the questions that that has been getting put to them, and their answers explain everything. Like, how does the cause myocarditis? And they're like, and they just keep dancing around it. What are your thoughts about that? And do you think, even though like Rand Paul seems to be trying to do it, do you think that will ever come to America, or are our politicians so captured it's going to be so hard to see that happen here?
Well, I'll answer this as quick as I can because I have 1 minute till my next podcast. Unfortunately, this is one of my favorite podcasts I've ever done, so I would love to come back while we have maybe 2 hours next time, please.
Traffic.
I will say yes, it is absolutely going to come to this country, particularly after 2024, which is why they're fighting so hard to maintain the power that they have. Which is also means heads up, buckle up, people, because they're going to do everything they can to prevent the election from happening or to stay in power. And so that's going to take a very monumental event to make that happen. And so we all need to be prepared for that and know that this is what we came here for, people. And it's got to get worse before it gets better. If anyone knows addiction, they know that it's like the person has to hit rock bottom. This nation has not hit rock bottom yet. There's still people who believe the bullshit. And every single day, thousands of people wake up. And I believe that we're going to see the flip side of this, where we're going to have the most patriotic nation in the coming years of people understanding what almost happened to it, and we get to be the generation to say that we stood up and we defeated it.
All right, Mickey, thank you. Sorry, traffic was so chaotic.
No worries,
It's never
man.
happened.
Mickey,
I understand, man.
I would love you on my podcast if you have time, man.
Let's do it, Eddie. Get my cell number from Sam and text me today. And it's really good to circle back with you. And I'd love to do your podcast anytime. And Sam, please, if you'd have me back, I'd love it.
We love it. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. No, you were great, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. Take care.
Man.
Yeah,
Take care,
man.
guys.
All right, real quick, I want to tell you about one of our longest running sponsors, Fume. Let me tell you about Fume.
Cold turkey may be great on a sandwich, okay? But there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some weird mind voodoo from your crazy neighbor or Xavier Guerrero, okay? What we're talking about is our sponsor, Fume, okay? And they look at the problem in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a dramatic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning device that does just that. Instead of electronics, fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing anxiety while breaking your habit, okay? Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup with destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use the code tinfoil to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use the code tinfoil to save 10% off your order today.
That was great, dude. It was fun to watch you two talk to each other.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean,
yeah,
like,
he's great.
I wanted to ask him, like, what are you doing for security? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, the movie's out. They really can't touch. I mean, what are they going to do? If they go after him, the movie's already out. It's already.
But the beauty of this, you know, it's like somebody hit me up the other day, Eddie, and they were just like, dude, don't you think it's kind of crazy how everybody on these podcasts are talking conspiracies? And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but I love it. I love it because they can't take out everybody.
Exactly. I think it's gotten to the point where they can. And I was having dinner with Alex Jones and Joe Rogan and Callan and
poor
Schaub.
Callan. Poor Callan.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe's like fully red pilled now and red pilling all the comedians. But Alex is there, and Alex was just like, dude, the Great Awakening is here, dude. They don't have any more power. They don't have any more. Like, Alex Jones is fully convinced that they're all going down. They have no more power. They're running out of ammo. And I've never, usually Alex is gloom and doom. And, at this dinner, he's like, dude, it's falling apart. Mainstream media's falling apart. It's all the deep state apparatus is breaking down. And it feels like it is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what?
Look at, like, dude, Patrick Bet David. Is
Yeah.
that guy a fucking gangster, dude? Is that guy a fucking gangster?
Bro.
I love that guy.
Have you seen the Woody Allen episode? When he went after,
That's
is
what
that
he's
his name,
talking
right?
about.
Yeah.
Anthony Weiner.
Anthony Weiner.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That was intense.
crazy.
That's a gangster. That is gangster
When you
shit.
bring up Frazzle Drip right to Anthony Weiner's face, that is the most gangster shit I've ever seen on the internet.
He works for
like
them,
that.
right? He works for them, right? He gets money from the Clintons.
Who?
You would say Anthony Weiner.
I don't know if
Not, he
still
said
does.
not anymore, but he used to. He
but
was
he's
balls
part
deep
of
with
that
it.
whole group.
Yeah.
You think they have him blackmailed, as in he knows things where if he
Dude,
He's
that was
part
the
of-
whole
he's part of it.
website.
He's
that
part of
was
the
the
whole
whole
thing.
laptop.
He
Was
was
that he
as
had
deep as you
files
get.
on everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, if you read, like, you'll never find it right now, but allegedly, because we got to say it, the FBI had that Anthony Weiner was a fucking kiddie porn producer. Like, it was there in documents. What they like, and you notice they didn't deny that all those guys killed themselves. He denied everything on that podcast, but when he brought up, and even Patrick Bet David goes, and they killed themselves, we know that. Anthony Weiner didn't push back against that. He sat there quietly and ate his fucking.
You're right. All he said was like, "Let's say the names."
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
like,
like
he
you
kept saying,
really
"Let's say the
care. Like
names."
that dude really cares about saying those names, and you're saying, like, come on, man, you don't give a shit about anything. What are you talking about? And like the body count, like, freaked him out. Like, body count freaked him the fuck out. Like, he's like, hey, you said those, you don't even know those are nameless people. You don't even know who are these people. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you actually went through how most of those people died, it's insanity. When you go, the most dangerous job on planet Earth is Bill and Hillary Clinton's bodyguard. The percentage of death is at like 80% or some crazy number.
One of my liberal friends, I was trying to, and she was all into Clinton. This was a few years ago, and I'm like, if Trump would have lost, we would have had a president that had a body count.
Yeah.
And she goes, how do you know Trump doesn't have a body count? I bet he has one too. And I was like, oh my God. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Where is it at? There's
Yeah.
an actual Clinton body count. Whether or not he had them off, we don't know. But man, there's that list exists of close people.
And by the way,
to
if he did have a body count, you would have heard about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There
You
would be a
would've totally-
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
There would at least be a Wikipedia, and there isn't a Wikipedia
Yeah.
for it, and there is one for the Clintons. Type in Clinton body
Yeah.
count. There's a whole whole list of like this side died, this person died, this person died.
It's
And
completely-
even dude, they're still dying. Like the body count, it seems like every few months there's another one, right? Like once every 6 months, another Clinton associate jumps off a building.
Yeah, and Wiener's point was they're old people. You know, it's been 40 years. What do you expect? But none of those people died of old age. dude,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, 100%.
None of them.
And like they all died in mysterious ways. Like I've had friends who OD'd, had heart attack. But bro, none of them are like 2 shotguns to the chest while they hung themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's the craziest shit ever.
Slipped in the kitchen, shot himself in the back of the head.
You
Whoops.
know? And so I wish I could. He kind of brought this up that like 2024 is going to get nuts, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to get nuts.
They're running out of ammo, but they're cornered. You know, they're like a scared fucking animal.
You just said they're running out of animal. He said that the only way to take out Trump is to kill him. Do you think that's a possibility?
Oh, that was crazy that I was saying that. I'm like, oh, dude. I mean,
if devolution is happening, if it's happening, basically, I don't know. This is the conspiracy theory based on executive orders that in December of was it 2020 or not 2019? It had to be 2020, December of 2020, the last few weeks that Trump was in office, he switched his Secretary of Defense to, I think, Chris Miller or something like that. What's the Secretary of Defense? And that's a good guy. So basically, continuity of government is, listen, we've been infiltrated by foreign entities. The military takes over. The president becomes the commander in chief, and Joe Biden is the president of Washington D.C. Just Washington D.C. You know how Washington D.C. is not like
Right.
So he's the head of Washington D.C. The Secretary of Defense, Trump handed off all the powers to the Secretary of Defense, and there's like a covert operation going on to wake up the people. You can't just go in there with the military and arrest everybody. That would have never worked. You have to wake everybody up before you can drain the swamp. Because that would be civil war.
There's so
if Trump would have just brought in the military and just arrested everybody, dude, that would have been the biggest mistake ever. Now looking back is, man. So basically, continuity of government is the military's running shit and doing these operations to wake people up. All the dumb shit, they're doing it on purpose to wake people up. This is how you deprogram people, because we know it takes 16 years for the communists to infiltrate a foreign country, and it's called ideological subversion.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Yuri Bezmenov talks
Yeah.
about that. If it takes 16 years to infiltrate a country and demoralize them to the point where, it's like what's happening here. If that's a communist plan, then the plan to reverse it has to take a number of years. And according to devolution, it takes 7 years to deprogram. So we're in a 7-year operation. Biden is not in charge of shit.
you don't think Biden's in charge, if you had to guess right now.
It's
Because
all-
there's
it's-
so much that says he's not.
This is, if you believe in devolution, go to X22 report.com and listen to the Derek Johnson interview. Listen to that dude. He breaks it all down, breaks down the executive orders. He's saying that we're at war. Like Donald Trump is a wartime president, but just because you start a war in a foreign country doesn't make you a wartime president. You're a wartime president if there's war in your country.
Does he know he's not in charge, Biden?
That's a good question. Listen, dude, it's the most fascinating information.
This is it.
This is it right here.
I think a lot of people right now, this stuff's so complex. It's so vast. It's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of rapid fire movement with those pieces. And I think that people, the thing that I get the most is what is a continuity government? And it's exactly what it says. But ironically, they actually changed the name in the actual documents. They actually call it a continuity of operational plan. But it's, and of course, the recent, I always put quotes around it because everything under quotes either means it's a facade or it's an optic or anything like that. But the most recent indictment of President Trump down in the Miami charade, as I call it, actually the documents they showed to the world actually proves continuity government, and it proves the military occupancy with what was on that paper, what was on that document. It said continuity of operational plans, military operations. So that was kind of cool in a different way, because if you know what's going on, well, a continuity government, continuity of operational plan means that the president has a presidential policy directive in place that keeps the national essential functions of the three branches of government functioning. They're to perform their national essential functions. So like a defense budget, things of that nature. They're to focus on what needs to happen to a continuation of government while a devolution takes place in a reconstitution. And the devolution term, I know you've heard this before, and I know I have, but a lot of people out there call devolution a conspiracy theory. Well, the Federal Continuity Directive 1, there's FCD 1 and FCD 2. Those are like your canopies, your two. One of them's the outline, the other one's the implementation phase. That one was issued January 17th, 2017, which obviously was 3 days before President Trump took the oath. In bullet point 3 in that document, it says to start with this one. So there's been other continuity directives put into place for years. As a matter of fact, I was on a show a couple of weeks ago with one of the guys who was actually, he's helped type some of these up. He's a Marine Corps veteran. And that's what he did was, he helped type some of these continuity directives up. But how do you know where to start? Well, the January 17th, 2017 FCD 1 says in bullet point 3 to start with this one, and everything preceding this is null and void. And then the FCD 2 came out June 13th, 2017. So that shows you a continuity, all pun intended, because January 17th, 2017, June 13th, 2017, before Donald Trump took office and while he's in office. That is the implementation phase. They post these on the Federal Register, where they post all the executive documents, where they post all the executive orders. That's all public information. The operational dates of the first one is listed. They're both listed on the Federal Register. The operational dates of the first one was 2018 to 2022, and the second one is 2020, so an overlap there to 2024. Now, that doesn't mean that we got to go to December the 24th, or excuse me, December 31st, 2024, but those are operational dates of those. And to know they've been activated, well, there's two powers in the U.S. There's the military, then there's the federal government. Well, when the federal government is under a continuity government, that means the three branches of government. So your legislative branch, which is your Congress, your executive branch, which is your president, your vice president, the cabinet, presidency, and then you have the judicial branch, which are all your court systems, the Supreme Court. When they're under a continuity government, that means they're not in power. So when they're not in power, that means the Constitution's put on pause. And the Law of War Manual, which just so happened was reissued June 12, 2015, 4 days before Donald Trump came down the escalator to announce his candidacy for 2016. I mean, no coincidences. The Law of War Manual is the Department of Defense's manual, the military occupancy and military occupation. And we have plenty of proof of that. As the last election, November the 4th, Fox News put an article out, big article, that the National Guard were going to be around all the voter precincts on election day. All right, well, 11.4, go to chapter 11.4 in the Law of War Manual, it talks about this stuff. Now, it doesn't talk in layman's terms in the Law of War Manual, because the Law of War Manual was actually written by military and federal attorneys.
Damn.
All right, so it's going to talk
this goes on
in
for like
legality.
hours.
It's going to talk about
I mean, I'm gonna watch this,
dude. It's the most. I already watched it twice. I'm like, holy shit! Could this be true?
So, I mean, we've heard this that the military is in charge.
Yeah.
And the question is
that good though?
But that's our question. Is it the military or the military industrial complex, and what do they represent? And because we've heard 1,000 times, Joe Biden is never on Air Force One. He's on a different plane. You see
the fake White House,
the
green screen fake White House. There's so much shit that suggests that he ain't no.
But people take tours of the White House all the time. They can see the president in the window. I mean, that's a real.
No, the White House is real, but why are they faking some of that shit?
No, that's weird. For sure.
Why are they doing on a sound studio?
And then I always learned that wherever the president was flying, that was Air Force One, like whatever plane he was on.
No, there's a plane.
Right, but the call sign for whatever plane he's on is Air Force One.
I've had people explain to me. I can't remember, but it is something. It is something that he's not on the official thing. It's just interesting.
And then I have some questions about this guy. Just had some dude that was typing up secret documents, telling him everything he was typing up. You know, he was like, this guy, Marine talked to me who typed up these documents. And
this guy, dude, he knows He knows his shit. What I mean, though? It's that one dude telling him shit. This guy, all he does is look into executive orders and listen to him. Just don't judge him by his cowboy hat.
I mean, that's my entire family.
That's Johnny's family hat. It is interesting. Like, we're definitely in a psychological warfare. So much of it's like and I say everything is a fucking sorcerer's trick. There's like, what is real and what is not real, I don't know anymore, bro. And it's just like, so that's why I kind of look inside. I mean, like, so we go to Plandemic 3. They break down the whole Chinese revolution. Like, it is so happening right now, and the youth is pushing it all. And I mean, it's getting crazy right now, dude. Like, I just had talked to Mark Maron last night. He went to fucking New York City, and he was like, it's fucking great. I'm like, really? Because I watched the news, and it makes it seem like it's Escape from New York. Right? Yeah. So it's like, what is real and what is not real?
Yeah. How would you even know? Like, it seems like even today, you can generally when you go into a city, like you're talking about New York, you're like, oh my God, is it safe? Is it safe? And then you hear from people, dude, that's just the news. It's fine. The only place that I went to that wasn't like that was East Oakland.
But San Francisco,
the Bay Area. When I got there, Mike Hillibrand, the guy who picked me up, he was like, oh no, that shit's real. It's real. There's parts of Oakland cops don't even go to. Like East Oakland, cops don't even go. And I drove through San Francisco. It was scary. I never left my hotel. When I stayed, I'm like, holy shit.
They destroyed that wonderful city.
LA's next. No one really says they love LA.
Well, no one's ever said they loved LA.
I think LA's too strong.
They used to
forget about Randy Newman. You're forgetting about Randy Newman.
You know what? If I drove down Melrose today, inspecting it to see if it was falling apart, it's not as booming as it once was, but it's still Melrose. I was thinking, like, if LA goes down, Melrose goes first. That shit goes first. That's the first thing, right? Melrose, that's the last thing we need is club clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That goes first, right? So you look at Melrose and the health of Melrose, and you could use that to predict what's going to happen in LA.
Well, it's like,
And also, real quick, remember the homeless situation where it got fucking Mad Maxy?
Yeah.
Where you drive down the 101?
Yeah.
And all that shit's cleaned up.
It's not as bad as it used to be.
They cleaned that up. They're still homeless, but it wasn't. I'd say they cleaned it up 75%.
I think they got rid of a lot of it.
Right? Like, why wouldn't they just, if they really wanted to destroy the country, they would have just left that. Say, fucking leave it.
But they didn't get rid of it. They just relocated it.
Or whatever they did. Yeah. It's not on the freeway.
Well, that's what they always do.
The freeway shit was scary.
Well, it's just like, it's just like, that the new mayor, what's the mayor's name? Kate or Kathy something. I don't even know her name, but she,
Karen Bass.
Karen Bass. Oh, Karen's her name? We're fucked, bro. Karen Bass, isn't that who like killed the fucking Tiger King? Isn't that her name too?
Yeah, it's something like
right
that.
or something like that, dude. So, you have seen it gone down. It is still there. We need to deal with it, but it's just like I feel like when I listen to Jim Gaffigan on Joe Rogan, I love Jim Gaffigan. I've been talking about this all the time. I should shut up because I don't want Jim to think I don't like him or respect him. But it's just like that just made me really sad.
What?
Jim Gaffigan was like, Trump's indictments are like worse than this FTX Sam Bankman-Fried, situation. I'm like, it's not even close, man. It's not even close.
Either he's not paying attention, or he is doing like he's bringing it up so that because he knows where Joe will take it. And the way he brought it up, he's not going to get in trouble. You know what I mean?
No,
like if you wanted,
he has Trump syndrome, Doc.
You think so?
Oh, big time.
Okay.
Big time. And it sucks because he is so funny and he is such a great writer. But man, he has some, it's very weird.
Oh, dude, it's been so hard for smart people to reconcile that whole the Russiagate and all that wasn't. It was just pure.
But
hoax.
how many of them actually believe that?
They think that all that shit is still real.
Yeah.
Like Adam Schiff still doubles down. They go like, but it's Russian collusion was proven to be a hoax, and goes, no, it wasn't. All his aides had Russian ties, and why is he's getting loans from the Russian bank? All that's bullshit. He is a Russian aide, so they're not letting that go.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you hear Destiny, that blue-haired weirdo that acts like he knows something. He's just willing to debate everybody, but he's an idiot. And he was, so he's like, okay, so all presidents are bad. Tell me what is the, what crimes, he literally tweeted this. What crimes have George Bush, Obama, and Clinton's committed? What war crime? You're like, what? What? I mean, even if you want to leave out Obama and Clinton's and you just want to focus on George Bush, I mean, like, really? Weapons of mass destruction? And then you get into Obama, Benghazi, Russiagate.
Drones.
Drones.
Ended. He finished
Fast
all the drones.
Furious?
Yeah.
Fast and Furious, fucking the Uranium One deal. Which, by the way, did you guys know this? Completely brokered by John Podesta's fucking PR firm that represented basically the Russian company that made the whole thing happen. Like, John Podesta negotiated Uranium One.
And, there's an old clip of John Podesta, and he's all young and shit, and he's in that the 2001 Alien disclosure.
Oh yeah,
he was the alien guy.
Yeah,
dude, he was pushing the alien shit. Perfect. And they go, okay, we got a new job for you. You know what I mean? He's on it. Yeah, he's all about aliens.
He's in the mix, and it was just like so. It's like I couldn't believe that. Uranium One was all about giving the Russians uranium, and they were going to give it to. They were going to sell some to Iran, and then when Iran made a bomb, they were going to blame it on Russia. That was the whole thing to get us into war and all.
Now,
this.
what is uranium supposedly used for?
Yeah.
What kind of bomb?
For nukes.
100% for nukes?
That's what they're, yeah.
It's 100%. It's not for it's not for hydrogen bombs or anything. It's for nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, this is what I think, because I don't believe that nuclear bombs exist.
Me too.
I believe that bombs exist, but how do you know which one's nuclear and which one isn't? And when you look at the timeline of how, it was a concept at first, it was a theory. If they could split the atom inside of a bomb and cause critical mass, then the bomb would explode exponentially, and it would be like a different kind of bomb. And then you start looking back at all that nuclear footage, and even on Joe Rogan, they're looking back at nuclear footage of the nuclear, and they're fake. They look fake.
Yeah.
So if nuclear bombs don't exist, why are they still selling nuclear secrets and uranium? I think that third world nations, they believe in nuclear bombs.
What?
And all these every politician goes, dude, I could sell you some nuclear secrets. For $1 million, I'll give you a fucking stack of nuclear secrets. And hey, listen, I don't know if you could put together a bomb with these documents, but they'll give me the documents.
Yeah.
Here's $1 million.
Yeah.
I bet they're selling it.
Yeah.
And they're out in third world countries trying to make nuclear bombs, and it never works. They're like, we never guaranteed anything. But I got another manila folder with some more nuclear documents, $3 million. They go, okay, send it to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're just ripping people off.
100%. Dude, how does North Korea have a nuclear bomb and Iran can't get a nuclear bomb?
They're always trying to figure it out, right? Iran been trying to figure out nuclear bombs forever.
Right?
When are they going to figure out they don't exist?
So they're
getting ripped off.
We always say
it's
that.
probably the same documents, too. Like all the politicians, can you give me a copy of that PDF? I'm going to make a couple mil in fucking Guatemala.
So we always say that a tinfoil hat is the sports center of the future. Because everything we talk about here in the 6 months will be everywhere.
About time, 6 months.
So, Rogan just had this tech guy on, and he was basically going, those videos of those bomb tests, all fake.
Yeah, that's
and
what
I've been
I'm talking
saying it forever.
Yeah.
Eddie, you might be right, by the way. This is how North Korea apparently got the nuke. The Prime Minister of Pakistan, allegedly through Pakistan's former top scientists, supplied key data stored on CDs on uranium enrichment and information in North Korea. So it's just a bunch of CD-ROMs that got shipped over to North Korea.
Listen,
they're trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's just as powerful to pretend you figured it out than if you never figured it out. If someone thinks you have a nuclear bomb and you lied to them and they believe, it's just as powerful as having it.
That's the most powerful shit.
Just pretend you have one.
And the people who know can't say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they
don't
want
wanna
to Because Russia and China want the threat of nuclear war as much as America does.
Of course. And they want, I believe, China needs North Korea as does Russia, because at first, after the Korean War, Russia was running North Korea, and then they handed it off to China. I think they need a super ultra totalitarian government to make China look not so bad. Because where are the people from North Korea escaping to when they escape? They go to China. That's the promised land. So they need that. That's like we need Cuba. Like Cuba makes the United States look free as fuck.
Right.
Keep Cuba. It makes us look good to have bad guys.
But I also think that the CIA uses North Korea as a rabble rouser to when they need to up the budget.
Yeah, they're testing
like,
missiles.
oh, dude, that guy's got, oh man, he's got a bomb again. And whatever Q is, we have debates about this all the time. But for me, there's so much real information in there. And
any way that it could have been like AI, like Chat GPT?
No, that's what I've been saying forever.
So you think it was the first one?
I think it was AI.
No, it can't be, because the way it was like, it was written like someone, like a high level military officer wrote that shit.
I think,
and it was all in question. There was a lot of questions and riddles and stuff like that. AI wouldn't think like that. The question, it was all.
Dude, we did an AI where they literally rewrote a whole season of Game of Thrones, but me and Johnny as the lead, and I was a comic ninja, and he was just a dude with a big dick, and that's how they wrote.
That's awesome.
I'm just telling you, bro, how it reads and all that shit.
Do you want me to tell it to make some fake QAnon stuff?
No, not right now.
I can do that.
But I mean, I'm just telling you, I think that because they wanted to see if people would follow AI, and AI pulls from all the internet. So I think it was pulling from top secret shit.
But a lot of the posts were just questions to make you think and make you put the pieces together. AI doesn't work like that. AI takes what's out there and mashes it together and makes it sound like
wasn't most of that stuff already somewhere else? Didn't most of the things that were
my
in
whole
Q
thing, it's like, even if it's like somewhere else, but also this AI could possibly be allowed to look at documents that maybe all of us didn't have access to.
Did you see that clip recently of Don Jr.? He's fielding questions, and they ask him like, do you know who Q is? And he's like, I don't know if you can find that clip. Donald Jr., when they ask him, and he goes, I don't know, maybe, who do you think it is? I don't know.
This must be it right here.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Who is Q? You'll never know, folks. I'm not sure. Or maybe I know and I just can't tell you. Who do you guys think it is, out of curiosity?
Dude, I don't know, dude. I think there's a good possibility that it's probably a few guys, and Donald Trump is one of them. It's got to be.
But if it isn't him, he knows who it is, though, right?
He talks like Donald Trump too. Like, these people are sick. He always says shit like this. It's just always where we go one, where we go one, we go all, and all that shit. Trump always says shit like that. You know what I mean?
It is.
Well, that's of course. Yeah,
if there was a plan, there would have to be something like that to keep the people, informed, right? Because they, if you're gonna do this plan, you'd have to have something like that to let people know that it's a plan, right?
I mean, so.
If there is a plan, I don't know. Maybe there isn't a plan, but if there is, you would need something like these drops to keep people in the know of what's going on and make sense of what's going on.
I would love to know what the batting average of Q was. If anyone actually broke down how many of the things that
seems like what's going on now, like Russian
what's the
collusion
time horizon though on that? I mean, how long does Q get to be correct? Because if we wait 300 years, all that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but we're not talking about 300. We're talking about 3 years.
Yeah.
Not 300.
But there was always a sense of immediacy to those posts. They were always like, bro, get ready.
No, it's not like that. It was all written out of order. It's all like out of order stuff, and then you piece it together. It's like all these. I don't know, dude. It could be.
There's
fake.
no more Q drops, right?
There was a few, maybe 6 months ago,
People think they were fake,
and
right?
then it could have been hijacked. Remember when Anonymous was real?
Yeah.
Remember when that was real, right? Like real hackers, like going after people. And then now you go to the YouTube, Anonymous official YouTube. It's so fake, but they're pretending like they're real. They're still capturing new people.
They're doing all these.
Oh, dude, but it's so fake.
Yeah.
So maybe, Q got hijacked and maybe it's fake now. I don't know.
But I think Anonymous is still real, though. I think the real Anonymous is real. And if you fuck with them, they will hack you, but they're not. It's anonymous. You're not supposed to know who it is. And you can become anonymous if you want to, and you get caught.
Didn't they all get in trouble? Didn't they get busted by the
during
FBI?
the Sony? Some of the anonymous got caught during. Yeah,
I think, and then I think they got hijacked because I see that on YouTube. If that shit was real, it would be shadow banned on YouTube. It's not. It's always on my feed. Anonymous official.
Yeah.
And then the headlines are so ridiculous. Like, oh, it's so fake.
Yeah,
it's like flat Earth society shit.
And then when they were going after things, you'd be like, why is Anonymous going after that? That seems like globalist deep state position. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay, because anybody can make a video with that stuff. I mean, it's super interesting.
Who knows what the fuck is going on?
Who knows?
Who fucking knows? It could all
Get
be
off
a trick.
the internet. That's what I say.
Who knows? I mean, fuck. Like, but it's super entertaining. It's like we're in a murder mystery, and eventually we're gonna find out, like who was Q? Was Q legit, or was it?
So Alex Jones has hope.
He feels that
gives me hope that Alex Jones has hope.
Alex Jones saying they're falling apart. Mainstream media once mainstream media falls apart, and then the podcast, like Joe Rogan is so powerful, dog. God damn it, that's a powerful ass motherfucker. And then you got all these guys jumping in too. Everybody jumping. There's all these podcasts where they're all saying the same shit. The wave's too big now. They clip people off in the beginning. People, talking shit, they'll clip them off. Metaphorically, not like they weren't killing people.
Right.
But they can't do it now. They can't do it now.
There's too many.
Do you ever think like a cable station would ever buy a podcast and run it with commercials in it? Like, yo, fuck it, let's buy Rogan.
Captured. TV is there's no.
It's so
real
crazy.
Well, they've done that with radio.
Captured.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah.
It's just all on the internet. You can just do it on the internet.
Glenn Beck was on.
TV's done. Like TV. Like, come on.
Yeah, but the question is like
Stern.
Yeah, this is not conspiratorial, but it's like, what does that do to sports, man? Where's all the money gonna come from?
Oh, dude, that's gonna be a real with the conference thing because once the
NFL tickets on YouTube TV now.
Dude,
TV deals are everything.
As Johnny, there's no more soccer on TV. You got to watch it on Apple TV now.
I think that was a big mistake, bro.
I mean, it wasn't for me. I love it. It's great for me. I watch it on my phone.
Well, the world isn't like, oh, I hope Johnny Wooder likes this.
I like watching.
But
I like
most
watching.
people, it's a problem.
I like. I'm all over the fucking. I love football. I love the Cleveland Browns. Wherever I'm at, I'm trying to watch the game, and it's great now that they just added it to YouTube TV Now it's on YouTube TV.
Yeah.
You got to pay $400 though, but I don't give a fuck. Get to watch fucking Browns on a fucking plane, dog. I could be on a plane and watch the game. I could be in the airport. I could be anywhere now and watch the game.
That DirecTV app was garbage too. When DirecTV ran it, it was garbage.
What are the hallways like at DirecTV right now? Like, is there just tumbleweed going down, spider webs everywhere?
They're living in tents now, dog. Dude. They're living with that Blockbuster CEO. Dude. What happened to that?
It's like, what the fuck happened?
Well, dude, you know what DirecTV's done? They've just made it now. DirecTV, if you subscribe to it, it's just on Apple TV now. In the app, it's just like you have a satellite
Spectrum
coming right through.
Oh,
Apple
really?
TV. Yeah.
So that's Spectrum too. They're basically doing what Spectrum did.
They've given
up. You got to.
Yeah, I mean everything. It's just crazy how powerful Apple
Channel 4, like Channel 7, like who gives a fuck about those channels?
My kids never watch television ever.
Neither does mine.
Never. It's just
but he'll watch shows on like streaming, like on the internet. You know what I mean? We don't have real TV at our house, but my son will, we'll let him watch some cartoons and shit. He likes SpongeBob.
Yeah, no, I think my kids love Power Rangers, which is so weird for little girls. They love Power Rangers.
Is that like a new show or is it the old shit?
They love what they really love is just to watch YouTube channels of people playing with toys.
Yeah, my nephew.
I'm like,
loved that.
what?
It's weird. Yeah.
There's nothing out there. And then we would go back and watch some of my old shows. Like I made Johnny watch The Letter People the other day, and he's like, "This is such hot garbage."
You must have run into this kid. Have you heard of Ryan's World or something like that?
Yeah, fat Asian kid.
He's so rich, and he just opens toys.
Yeah, but the question is like, how much of that money is he going to see?
Yeah.
Or are those parents just spending all that money?
Well, they're working him like a dog.
Oh, yeah, he's got to be
poor
pissed,
Ryan.
dude.
Ryan, get up.
So what do you think happens 2024?
I think it's going to get worse. They're just going to go out swinging. I think Deep State's going to go out swinging, dog. But I believe they will fail. I believe.
Can we save America?
Who's they? Who's they? Like
Deep State.
Okay, so
the Jews, bro.
I know, but like Trump wins.
I think so. I think Trump wins. I think to think we could save society without a president is ridiculous. Like if you know what I mean, you can't do it without a president. You got to have someone there leading the charge. There's no way. I mean, every country is basically like a prison, and the United States is the greatest, freest minimum security prison out there. You know what I mean? So, but we're slavery never ended. So there's always been slavery. They just do a slavery in different ways. You know what I mean? We still got slaves now. We got Mexicans picking strawberries. What's the difference between those slaves? The only difference is they don't house them and they don't pay for their food. They just they figure
give
out
them enough. They give them enough to do that for themselves.
Yeah, they figured out like why fucking house them and why fix them food? Just pay them a little bit. They do the same work. Go out there, pick the cotton, pick the fruit. Mexicans are slaves right now. They're slaves right.
And guess what?
Now.
You don't have to worry about their health. Because they're not yours, technically. You just hire a new one tomorrow.
They figured out how they streamlined slavery. That's all they did. And, there's slaves going on, like, everywhere. China,
I agree.
China, Middle East, we're fucking slaves, all of us. And some people have it better than other slaves. You know what I mean? Some people figured out a way to make money without having to work hard, 8 hard hours, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. It's crazy how it's like, a lot of the workforce is just people figuring out how to make money online, whether it's a podcast or whatever, little videos, and then they get Patreon, and then they take that Patreon and pay for other people's shows and other people's subscriptions, and it's just like everyone's just paying each other online. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone you got to figure out how to make money on your computer.
So the future's bright. You think?
I think.
I have hope.
I think so. I hope so. I could be wrong. People get mad at me for having hope in Trump. I'm like, dude, we need a fucking we see what's going on when the president is totally corrupt. With Biden in there, we see there's no way. It's if he remains in the White House, there's no way we're going to recover from this shit. We're going straight down.
Yeah, they've been talking. This is our last chance.
Yeah, there's nothing like the people can do. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to pull out some fucking rifles and walk up to the Capitol and just start, and then you're going to fix everything? That'll never work. We have to have a fucking president. We have to fix the election process.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure the president matters that much. I really don't. Because if it's like you're saying that Biden's not even in charge, I mean, that kind of proves that this thing runs itself, right? It's a you don't need a driver.
If that's real, if devolution is real, they're to wake people up. They're letting them do all the dumb shit to wake people up. Like we have to walk through the fire. There's no way. If we don't walk through the fire, how are people going to wake up?
I think it should be bottom up. I think we should focus more on local and
let the president for sure. No, that
itself.
too.
I'm just not too worried about the
but when bottom up, I'm down with bottoms up. Local government, city council, mayors. I'm down with that. But you keep going all the way to the top. You don't just stop at the mayor. You go all the way to the top. So you fix the election process. There are elections, they're just rigged. And I mean, the elections are real, but they're really rigged. It's not like they're not real. People think like, oh, it doesn't matter. No one counts anything. They're just going to put whoever they want. No, they are counting the vote. They rig it. The voting system is real. It's just rigged.
Yeah,
we have to unrig it. Yeah. Once we unrig it and fix the mainstream media and get like people we could really trust and not the mainstream media just bullshitting and pushing fucking criminals through. We got to get through that. Voter ID. We got to same day voting. No more machines. We can fix all that.
Yeah, we can.
We can fix that. The elections are real.
Do you think we can save California, or is it too gone?
California used to be red, so there's hope. We just need to fix the election process.
Think about this. Gavin Newsom just got basically busted funding a Chinese lab. Now, I don't know how real that story is because I don't believe in viruses, but like they had AIDS and COVID and all that shit.
They're talking about that shitty lab with like the boxes stacked to the ceiling and everything. Yeah, that was
It looks like somebody went to somebody's
that could be devolution.
Like Amazon fucking.
It seems like if devolution is real, it seems like the mission is push out as many dumb things as possible to wake people up. Like it's for good, right? So shit like that, like a few more people wake up. They're like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So
it's how bad the Democrats are. Gavin Newsom is their backup plan. The guy who got recalled in his own fucking state. It's the backup plan.
Yeah, and Joe called him a con man on his show.
Yeah.
He didn't like that, dog.
Who, Gavin Newsom?
He didn't like that.
Yeah, well, I'll call him a con man right now. Come on my show. Let me debate you, then we'll box.
You think Trump's going to win. What do you think is going to be that makes the change? You think it sounds crazy, but hey, you think he'd go on Rogan? Because that would break the internet.
Can he win a fixed election, though? Because I don't think there's any chance it's not rigged again. They've been in power for 4 years.
But they've been doing a lot of things to fix the election process. And if devolution is real, that's what Space Force was. They already know is rigged.
Space Force?
Space Force. The reason why Trump created Space Force is it's a brand new military branch that he has total control of, and they use that to control cyberspace. So really, Space Force had nothing to do with space. It was to control cyberspace. So according to devolution, they already. There's this one lady that's all up in she's been talking about it. She goes, I forget Jan something.
Is she talking about his case and how he can?
And she said, if you think Space Force doesn't have the election already captured, you don't think they already know exactly how they cheated, then you're not paying attention. She said that shit. She's all Trump has all that. So and they're just holding on. They're holding on to it. They're letting everything play out, letting devolution play out. You got to wake up as many people as possible. And this is what she's saying. I forget her name, Jan something, but she's dropping a lot of knowledge. That's what Space Force was for. Space Force was to control the internet. Had nothing to do with space.
Yeah. So they've been talking about how Trump is actually in a really good spot right now because now he can subpoena everybody.
Yes.
And now January 6th, they're destroying evidence, bro. And like this gets into what you're talking about. People have to go like, whoa, bro, there's two sets of laws here.
Yeah, and again, back to Joe Rogan. He's talking about all that shit. Joe Rogan on JRE is fully red pill. Maybe 85% red pill. You know what I mean? But he is fucking saving the world single-handedly, dog.
He's cautiously red pill. Like he knows.
Yeah.
He knows where he can go, where he can't go.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's saying a lot of shit. I mean, he's saying a lot of red pill shit. And he's, man, that episode with Patrick Ben-David, that one right there, saving the world. That one right there, between them two, those two powerful motherfuckers breaking it off. Holy shit,
that was the
powerful.
best, bro.
Dude.
That was the best when
so
he gets
good.
in the ESG.
So good. Oh, my
it was so funny because the day before, Callan and I literally got in a screaming match on our show. He was trying to tell me that BlackRock and Vanguard have no power.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? He's into that.
He's nuts.
On a group text, he's saying the same thing. You guys have no idea. They're like financial managers. They don't tell anybody what to do.
Yeah,
they don't have any power. It's a big
crazy.
conspiracy theory. I go, dude. I hope you're right, dog. Because BlackRock and Vanguard scared the shit out of me. I hope they have no power. I'm with you on that, but I mean, Patrick Ben-David, he seems like he knows what's up in when it comes to the financial system of the country. He knows way more than I do. I don't know shit. I don't know what BlackRock is. I just see them as part owner of fucking mostly everything. Scary. And real estate, they're in everything. Vanguard and BlackRock. But you know what? That's getting exposed too. 2 years ago, no one knew what BlackRock was.
100%.
It's so mainstream now. And now the latest is BlackRock is being investigated for doing shady
Chinese. With the Chinese military.
Devolution, dog. Everything's getting exposed. You will eat the bugs. Nobody knew who Klaus Schwab Jr. was. Oh, no, Klaus Schwab Jr., he's legit. But Klaus Schwab, nobody knew who the fuck he was. And now everyone looks at him as Satan now.
Did you watch the one with the guys from the Young Turks? What's his name? Singh.
Pat Singh.
But you should watch because he had Patrick Ben-David have it on, and it was he was calling him out on his bullshit. And the other guy's got Trump syndrome, where he's like, he's the worst, and it was pretty good to watch them kind of throw it out.
Nice.
See, that's the thing about that, because I wouldn't be cool with Singh because, and Pat Patrick David is Armenian. Like, I wonder if he's ever called him out on the Young Turks and what they represent.
He's a weird mix. He's Iranian and Armenian. That's a cool
but
mix.
It's very interesting that he didn't call him out on that shit.
Well, dude, he had Anthony Weiner on. I mean, he's going to have anybody on.
That's why he can't have them on, because he's probably way more professional than me on any of that stuff.
Dude, yeah.
He had Chris Cuomo on.
You can, every time we go to New York, you say, if I ran into Anthony Weiner, I'm going to sock him in the face.
Bro, they were saying that he gets coffee near where Skankfest was. I'm like, if I can see this dude, dog, I'm going to let him know what I think, dude. I ain't fucking around with that guy. Because the fact that Sirius Radio, who is shady as shit, by the way, Sirius Radio is Sirius the Dog Star, Death Star. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's all dark art shit. Sirius Radio represents dark art shit. And they gave Anthony Weiner a show, and they gave Michael Cohen a show. Trump's old lawyer.
Yeah.
Got a fucking job.
Now, what's up with Sirius Radio? Is that model dying, or can it survive?
I think I love it, but
they call it internet radio now too, and a lot of their services are called internet radio.
Well,
you browse to it, and it's got an app.
So basically, Sirius has an app now. You get the app, and then you pay subscription, and then it's just like
it's all on your phone.
Yeah, but it's no different.
That's a good move.
The only people that have it are people that buy cars. You basically got to buy a car to get it.
No, but it's also for truckers. So when they're driving, they don't lose the station when they're 10 miles out. So they can drive across country, listen to the same station. But then you can do apps, but there's some place where you can't get the internet in 2023. What are you going to do? Well, that's why you have Sirius Radio, so it can, but their whole thing is just dark arts, man. It's ran by some trans fucking person.
Yeah, it used to go on Stern, or he would talk he had her on a few times. She was weird.
The trans woman who basically but Sirius is the Dog Star, which is the Death Star. That's all dark art shit.
That's Keanu Reeves' band.
Dog Star?
Yeah.
That's some weird shit right there.
Oh, that reminds me. I just dropped a single. My band's called Hook Thieves. That's what this is.
Oh, I was wondering what that is.
Yeah, the song's called El Coyote. The album comes out in about a month.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The album comes out in about a month, but the single just dropped last week. It's on all musical platforms. Hook Thieves, El Coyote. It's about the border. It's about a human smuggler.
Are we allowed to hear it? Can we hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
Is this it?
And
No, not that one. Not that one. That's
right.
old. Yeah, it's got to be on
6 days ago.
On yeah, you could do that one.
And the best part is we heard it kind of first. I'm not gonna lie, we heard this first. So remember when someone walked out when you played this?
Yo soy el coyote. Yeah. Yo soy el coyote. I don't want no more trouble. How am I supposed to traffic? How am I supposed to pay my rent? I got 14 chillings. How am I supposed to traffic?
Like a travel agent.
I have to move today. Let those Mexicans.
I got so mad.
Let those Mexicans in. Don't make me dig tunnels. Don't make me jump over.
This is fucking great.
I don't want no more trouble. He just wants to get paid. Yeah. Fuck the wall. Let those Mexicans. Fuck the wall. Let those Mexicans in.
Yes.
Yo soy el coyote. Yo soy el coyote. Yeah. I don't want no more trouble. I just want to get paid. Empathy for a human smuggler. That's what this is about.
This is an anthem.
Let those Mexicans in.
Imagine a Democrat ran with this song.
Let those Mexicans.
Yeah, it's like Beto O'Rourke's campaign song.
Right?
Whoa. I don't want no more trouble. You know
how many albums? How many songs on the album?
12. The album comes out in a month. But the way that song came about, I was hanging out with one of my liberal friends and his girlfriend, super liberal. She hates Trump. And she's a singer, great singer. And he's a music producer. And her friend, some other chick who's also a great singer, just amazing singers, super liberal. And I had an acoustic guitar. I'm in the living room. Me and my boy Danny are working on music. I'm like, what is the most fucking liberal thing I could say right now? And just off the top of my head, I was like, fuck the wall, let those Mexicans. And it just came out. So I had that chorus and they started singing. They're like, they love it. They're going nuts. We're all singing it. So I had this chorus and I'm like, how am I going to pull this off? Because my bass is not going to like those words, right? And so what I was thinking kind of was like, fuck the wall, let those Mexicans in. It's like a super racist KKK dude from Arkansas who did mushrooms. And then he's like, and he realized, fuck the wall, let those Mexicans in. You know what I mean? That was like, in my head. And so then I had to make the verses balance itself out. So how do I let people know that I'm joking?
Yeah.
So I made a song about like having empathy for a human smuggler, an El Coyote.
Yeah.
So it's about having empathy for him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They got to pay
yeah.
their rent too. And so when you hear all that,
then
you because it's confusing.
Yeah.
Because remember, I did the song in Houston, and a couple like Trump supporters and old Trump supporters, they got up and left once they heard "fuck the wall." They're like, "We out of here."
They didn't give you enough time. Yeah, they didn't give you enough time.
They couldn't understand the lyrics, and plus that was such a shitty performance. My voice was. I had just done a set. My voice was fucking shit, and my voice sucks to begin with, and I just did. 45 minutes or something.
Yeah, you're the Mexican Jamie Foxx. I mean that before he got cloned. How talented he was.
Oh, dude, wait till you hear put the album cover, Jar of Flies by Alice in Chains. This was a classic Alice in Chains, iconic. That. It's an acoustic album.
Yeah.
So this is all the songs are like parodies. So the album cover is a parody. So put up the Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies, or Jar of Flies, that one. Look at that.
You got Jar of Flies, right?
See, boom. That's one of the most iconic album covers of all time. Right there. Can you make that big? Look at that. Jar of Flies. So since this is an acoustic album too, and that's one of my favorite albums ever, I decided to make it. Now go back to mine. See, that's the original one.
So fun. I was listening to K-Rock yesterday because I'm old, and they were playing Alice in Chains. I'm like, damn, bro, this is still on the mainstream.
This is an incredible album. So go Hook Thieves, Jar of Lies. So instead of flies,
I think it was on the
there it is.
Right there. Yeah.
That's it. So, and he's got a mask on, Jar of Lies, and those are COVID balls. Did you notice that before? Did you figure it out?
I didn't notice the COVID balls. I noticed the mask, but I didn't know that. I was like, okay, I can play. There we go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's a tribute to Alice in Chains because the whole album is like the song you just heard is just acoustic and piano. The whole album and a cajon. The drums are a box. The drums is a cajon. There's not like real drums. It's a box. So the whole album is just a box, acoustic guitar, piano, and a bunch of crazy lyrics. I mean, there's like insane. Dude, I got a song called "How's the Climate." It's about Greta Thunberg. It's hysterical. Dude, I got a song
multi-talented, dude.
I got a song called Deodorant. That one's not political, but sort of political. It's about having an intervention with, everyone's got that one friend that just stinks and you got to talk to them dude, you stink right out of the shower, dog. Something's up. Something's up. Your hormones are like kicking, dog.
Would you want to tour off that if it got big? Would you like to go do live shows?
We are going to do live shows. I want to play The End. I think The End is a good place to have a record release party. Record release party there at the end.
Do you need their number? Do you have it?
I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
that's just a nice, quiet little place. Do a little party there. You know what I mean?
It's got sure. It's great. Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're going to be again Saturday night show's almost sold out in Connecticut, so grab your tickets while you can. And then we're so excited to go back to New York City. We're going to be in New York City, Eddie, myself, and Xavier Guerrero at the Cutting Room. So go grab your tickets. Let's pack that out so we can come back to New York on a regular basis. I just added Buffalo, and I just added PA, and it looks like Boston as well. So I'll be doing both those places. I'm trying to get a gig right after this as well, or the week before that, those shows, so I can shoot my special the first weekend in October. That is my goal. A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, yelling and screaming. Maybe I'll call it that. That's it. Eddie, I love you. Anything else you want to pull? I know you got Rockfin. Is there anything else you want to push?
My podcast called Look Into It. It's on Rockfin. And that's pretty much it.
Well, I love you, buddy. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for coming, dude. Sorry we were late, man.
It's all good, dude.
It's the craziest travel.
I'm going to go watch Smashing Pumpkins tonight. Oh, at the Irvine Meadows.
Nice.
Oh, really?
The last time I saw Smashing Pumpkins, and I've seen thousands of concerts, it was the absolute best concert I've ever been to in my fucking life.
It's in Irvine?
It's in Irvine. I don't know if this one's going to be the same, but the reason why it was so good, and I'd seen Smashing Pumpkins before, and I've seen many concerts before, but this was 2019. They played at the Forum, dog. And I went with Danny Lohner from 97. We hate everything. We are the most critical and everything. We don't give a fuck. We're always talking shit. But it was the only show, the only concert I've ever been to where in between every song, Smashing Pumpkins. They have bangers, dog. Tonight, fucking,
Yeah.
dude, it goes on and on. Today, fucking Bullet with Broken Butterfly Wings, all that shit. They got so many bangers. And they did it. They did a show that they just blew up. It was like the reunion. Every song was like a different music video. It was like a Madonna concert. You know, when you go Madonna, every song is a whole different stage. They change it all up. You know, usually rock concerts, it's the same stage. Maybe they have an LCD screen in the back and that changes, but it's the same stage setup generally. Not very many rock bands do like the Madonna thing where every song is a whole different look, whole different lighting, different props come out and everything. And it was fucking insane. And he sounded so good vocally. Vocally, he sounded so good. It was insane.
That's a good venue too. That 5 Point Amphitheater in Irvine. I like going to shows there. That's a cool
I don't know
spot.
if they're going to do the same thing, but I swear to God, in between every song, I shit you not, everybody looked at each other and went like this, like, what? Everybody was like, what? Me and Danny looked at each other and we're like, how is this possible? This is fucking insane. There's like 25 bangers, dude, just Smashing Pumpkins. And I've never been to a concert like that where in between everyone's looking around going, what is going on here? Never seen a rock concert like this.
Like that?
I have to drag my girl up there tonight.
Is that the two?
Oh, you're gonna go, Johnny? You're gonna make a run?
I don't know if they're gonna do that tonight. I don't know if they're gonna go full blown tonight. Maybe they scaled it down.
Pretty cool, though.
Maybe they scaled it down. But dude, he went out and did a guitar solo. Dude, it was the greatest guitar solo ever, dude. It was the lights. Dude, Billy Corgan shot Reds.
Oh, yes.
He shot Reds, dude.
Yeah.
He went out and just played Eddie Van Halen. He did everything. And with usually when you do like old school guitar solos, like even Eddie Van Halen or Kiss, they have like the light show's okay. Maybe a little smoke comes out. Dude, he had like this extraordinary light show around him and he had music going with him and it's a strobe and he's shredding. Like, I've never seen a guitar solo like this in my life.
Oh, dude, it was
insane. It was insane, dude. I've been to a million concerts.
Stone Temple Pilots are opening for them? That's kind of crazy.
Whoa, really?
And Interpol.
Who's singing?
Interpol. I don't know.
Interpol.
Yeah.
I love Interpol. I
Yeah.
didn't know they're opening. Holy shit, we got to get out of here.
All right.
I got to make it to Irvine.
Take care, bro.
In rush hour traffic.
I love you, buddy.
I love
Take
you,
off.
man. I
Thank
love
you for doing
I
it.
love you guys. I got to get out of here.
Bye, buddy. Take care. That's Eddie Bravo. Go to SamTripoli.com for tickets to our show this week. New York City, head out, rock out. Let's do it. And again, stay tuned for our highlights from our other show. All my other shows. Plus, if he sends some stuff in, we'll have We Don't Smoke the Same. You look a little worn. Did you go hard this weekend?
No, I'm good. I recovered. I'm good.
Okay.
To go.
All right. SamTripoli.com for all your needs. Enjoy the highlights and hope to see you in New York City and Connecticut. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
Yo, what the beep is up?
Thank you.
Juicy Johnny, the Juice Man himself. And Sam, I gotta go Tripoli.
Thank you.
What's going on?
I do.
Love the show. First time caller, long time listener. Y'all know that whole spiel. All right, I've been thinking about this for a while.
He's been thinking about this for a while.
Okay.
Now. Listen, a while.
I'm listening.
It's probably kind of outdated now, but maybe not. A T-shirt design of the Jackson 5, and then it's like Anthony Fauci, that piece of shit, fucking Hotez, that retard, and I guess that Walensky bitch.
What?
That's like 3. So probably the devil or something. And then, I don't know, some other person that will go on the T-shirt.
So this dude has been thinking of this T-shirt for a while.
Okay.
And he could barely come up with 3 people. He got Walensky's last name. And then he's like, I don't know, the devil or something. And then some other motherfucker. That's his big. He called in for that. He's like, dude, I gotta call in and give you guys.
Let's hear it one more time. One more time.
He's like, I've been thinking about this for a while.
First time caller, long time listener. Y'all know that
We
whole
love you, by
spiel.
the way.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
love you.
I've been thinking about this for a while. It's probably kind of outdated now, but maybe not. A T-shirt design of the Jackson 5, and then it's like.
First of all, it's not going to work because they have to be in blackface for anybody to understand that they're supposed to be the Jacksons.
Fauci, that piece of shit, fucking Hotez, that retard, and I guess That Walensky bitch.
Peter Hotez, remember, is that guy that was all over Twitter a couple weeks ago?
Okay.
Fucking Hotez, that retard. And I guess that Walensky bitch.
The CDC chick.
That's like 3. So probably the devil or something.
Okay.
And then,
how do you not say Bill Gates?
Some other.
Yes.
That will go on the T-shirt.
That will go on the T-shirt.
But yeah, if y'all do it quickly, maybe it'll still make sense. But
how do you not say Bill Gates?
Yeah.
In that whole fucking thing.
He came up with the devil and Walensky, but not Bill Gates.
Yeah, I'm not getting. From the Ukraine?
No, Walensky. That she's kind of hot to me. I don't. You know who she is? She's that dark-haired woman that was all about the
CDC
woman.
Yeah, okay.
Like she's kind of in that weird sort of adult mom hot.
No, she is garbage, bro.
No, yeah, she's garbage. But like,
there's nothing hot about. She's
like if
such
she was
garbage.
my teacher when I was like in high school, I would be like,
she's such.
I bet
garbage.
Miss Walensky.
Yeah, for
freak in a
sure.
sheath.
All right, that's a good call. We'll make that a shirt.
The Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for the calls.
All right.
I think. Let me. Is it?
All right.
Oh no! Here's just a nice one. I wanted to play this. It's very short, but.
Hey, Johnny and Sam. My name is Josh. I've been listening since the beginning. Just love y'all's podcast. I mean, I'm in recovery myself as well, so Sam's been a huge inspiration on that regard. Don't have an atrocity for y'all today, but just, I try to reach out to you guys on Twitter. Johnny doesn't message me or return my shit back. But
sorry, dude. I don't go on there a lot, honestly.
Cool. I know you guys are busy. Love you both. And it seems like a lot of people that I call are kind of a little bit older. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
You're
I just want to
be
let
old
you guys
one day
know
too.
that you have a ton of fans in your 20s as well. Look forward to the podcast every week, and can't wait to see Sam in Denver when he makes his way out.
If I ever make it out there, I promise you I'll try.
Anyway, I thought it was a nice.
Thank you, dude.
Positive.
I appreciate you
Positive
for telling us youth like us.
The youth.
Yeah, the demographic anybody wants.
It's still weird to me in my head that I'm not in my 20s. Like I feel like I'm about 17. Honestly,
Johnny, it's weird that I'm not in my 30s and I'm 50. Okay, get used to it. It's gonna be weird.
Okay. We had a couple of videos here that this is not a full-blown phone with stupid, but Galern tweeted this out.
I love this.
This is just a funny.
So
this is someone getting
funny, bro.
Absolutely drilled
And
by a
this
soccer
is an
ball.
example of like you need to be. Look at this.
Got to be alerted to soccer game.
Oh my god,
it's so funny, dude.
It's
this
so
woman.
perfect.
So this guy he just hoofs the ball and it goes flying into the crowd, and everybody's looking and ducking, kids, men, except for this one woman who's looking off to the side, paying no attention to the game.
Out.
Completely
she's not even looking at it. She's zoning out.
Yeah, and the ball comes right and squares her right
Look,
in the
she's
face.
just zoning. Boom! Oh my god!
It's so funny.
Oh
dude.
my god! Oh my god!
Goosh.
And look at the guy right there. He was gonna hide. Look at that! Look at that guy. The guy
Nobody
in the blue.
thought
Look
to,
at
like,
that guy.
swat
Ari
it.
Shaffir in the back.
Oh, that does look like all right.
Bang.
Well, nobody thought to swat it, save her face. Everybody's just like, not me.
Dude, that's
not
so,
today, Satan.
Dude, that's so hilarious. Oh, bang.
I could watch this on loop forever.
I think it hits her in the forehead, or is it the nose?
Oh, no, it's right on the bridge of the nose.
Thank
and the
God she didn't hit the nose, right on the nose.
Oh, it'd break her nose. It'd
Right
crush
here.
her nose, yeah. She'd break her nose. I bet she...
Why aren't you paying attention to actions right near your net?
That's crazy. That's so funny.
And
Dude, when I was in high school, a guy got hit by a line drive in the dugout. He wasn't paying attention. It hit him in the head. He almost died. He had to be rushed to the emergency room. It was really bad, dude. Yeah.
How do you not pay attention?
It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, that's hilarious.
Everybody's ducking. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Nobody tried to swat it or save her life.
Nobody cares.
This is from Inside Edition. These are some brothers who attacked their mom's killer in court during sentencing, which is exactly what I would do.
There was no order.
Yeah,
in this
I would do the
courtroom
exact
as
same
two
thing.
brothers attacked
I would do the
their
And by the way,
exact
I was
same-
telling you this, if anybody ever fucked with anybody in my family, my dad would just murder them. I know it for a
Yeah.
fact. And he's like a super chill guy normally.
Yeah.
But he'd just kill him.
Yeah, for sure. For fucking sure.
There was no order in this courtroom.
By the way, start
as
again. Look, the cop kind of helps him. Watch this thing. Watch this thing. Watch that cop
Which
right there.
guy is? Oh, there's this guy over here in the orange jumpsuit. Obviously.
Yeah, that's
okay.
the guy who murdered
and this
the lady.
is.
All right, guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our affiliate program on SamTripoli.com. I'm working with some really wonderful people trying to get you the best of the best that I think is important for you in the upcoming zombie apocalypse, okay? So we have, if you're looking for gold and silver, who knows what's going to happen with the fractional reserve banking system? It could collapse at any moment, maybe in August. We don't know. If you go to buy gold and silver, go to SamTripoli.com, SamTripoli.gold. You can join the Wise Wolf program, and they will ship out to you monthly installments of precious metals. I do it every month. I'm getting sent precious metals, a lot of silver, some gold. I love doing it. It's a great way to stock up on precious metals. AquaCure hydrogen gas. I've had people hit me up, tell me they love doing it and how it's really working for them. I have it at home. I have to hook it up. It's a lot of stuff I'm working on, but I'm going to put it together so I can start breathing that sweet, sweet, sweet hydrogen, man. Give me that sweet hydrogen. But click on that. You can use the promo code right there. It says it right there on the banner. Use that. Joel Staley is a good friend of mine, and he helped me lose a lot of weight. I am now doing a 75 hard, leading into going back into fasting. I'm training my body, doing fasting. Joel Staley has a proven system that will help you lose weight. Again, just click the banner, use the promo code, and Joel Staley will work with you. He's going to help you, if you do it right, lose 25 to 50 pounds in 90 days. That's like half a person right there. Harley Ray. We love, yay. Yeah. We love the Harley Ray people. We love them. Look at that size of that. Was that crystal right there? Holy
dude,
crap.
I got a ton of these for, she sent them to us for Broken Salmon. They're great, man.
Look at those. Damn, bro. They're huge, dude. They're huge. I know XG thinks there's something else.
I was about to say, careful with that, ladies.
Yeah, okay. Going back. Again, if you just use...
God, those are big. What? I mean, that's like her whole forearm.
Yeah. Easy, guys. Easy. They listen to the show. Their parents listen, too. Please stop. But if you use Swarm 15, you get 15% off anything you're buying. And finally, Legal Shield. If you're looking for some legal help, they do a monthly thing. And with that, they got different law firms they work with that can help you sign up and get some legal help on certain things. So check that out. Again, Legal Shield, they're there to help, and that's our affiliate. So, all right, check it out. Help us, help you, help us, help you.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.